skip it. See it or skip it. See it or
Welcome to a new See It or Skip It. We're going to be talking about Predator Badlands, plus a Frankenstein film that's out on Netflix. Plus, we got interviews for an Apple TV series, The Last Frontier. And I am joined solo with Rebecca Frost. How's it going?
Solo dolo.
We riding solo. Kent couldn't handle this. He couldn't handle the Badlands. And
Yeah, we maybe had to kill him again.
yep, we can just, cut to it again.
Go get the shovel. Do we need any sauce?
There's so much sauce under it.
Oh, no.
There's so much to talk about. Let's start with Predator Badlands, though, because we all saw this last night.
So this is your first hunt. And you've come to the most dangerous planet in the universe.
This is continuation from the Prey story that we had a couple years back, and there was the Killer of Killers animated series that came out. We both gave that a see it, but we were wondering what is going to happen with the live action version. So what do you think?
I personally loved Predator Badlands so much. It so far my experience with the Predator films, at least Prey and Killer of Killers, very standalone. Like, you do not really need to have seen previous Predator entries to understand what is going on with
Nor
the
should
lore.
you. Like 8 Predator movies, and I'm supposed to keep track of all of that?
And the Predator Badlands, so far, it's trending fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. It's like the top 3rd highest rated Predator film of the franchise. But just so good. All you need to know going in is the Predator, their whole deal is they're hunters, and their whole goal is to get the biggest and best prey that they can get, right? And Predator Badlands, Dex, our main predator, he's going to the Death Planet to get the biggest and baddest trophy that he can get.
It's a very messed up rite of passage for the Predator family here. He wants to do this because he thinks that he's proving something to his family. He wants to tackle the biggest thing. Little does he know that there are a lot of Whaling Corporation robots scattered around this place, and he might just come across a half Darth Maul version of Elle Fanning.
Well, and it's really interesting, too, because Dex is established so early on as the runt of the family. Like, he has no business going to this
He looks
planet.
goofy.
He looks goofy. He's
But
making
it's
a
funny.
fool of himself. And that's the thing about this Predator movie, too. It's funny.
Yes.
I was hooting and hollering the whole time.
And there's a lot about that you particularly liked. But what I noticed in the beginning, it very much felt like The Mandalorian. But this is The Mandalorian if they were able to kind of like shed some of the Disney shackles of being like a little bit more intense, and they went full throttle with it. It's PG-13, so there's not going to be like real blood, but there's tons of fake blood, the green blood, the little milk stuff that comes out of the Whaling Corp, you know, synthetics. I think this was such a fun time in the theaters. It might be the most fun that we're going to have until Wicked for Good coming out.
This should have been released during the summer. This should be a summer blockbuster movie. It is, like you said, it's so full of action. Like, it is PG-13, so there's no blood because it is all pretend Predator neon blood, but tons of action. There's not a dull moment in the movie. It is constant. You are always along for the ride of whatever next action set piece is coming along.
And they do so well with those. Like, how the Predator is using his environment and the world against his enemies is so much fun. And then it's all in the perspective of this guy. I mean, we don't really follow the Predator in any of the other films. It's usually the people getting involved and having to run away from them. So I love that we have a perspective that's different and it's unique. I love that they understand that they need to sell some toys, and so they gave us one of the, and you can take this one, the most adorable, ugly alien creature.
The Sonic the Hedgehog alien.
Before they corrected it.
Yeah.
I think that was the one that I could hear you next to me going, yeah.
I was losing it. The thing about this movie, if I were to drop the tropes, hero's journey, found family, for a Predator movie, never in 1,000 years would I have expected these specific tropes in a Predator movie. And it works. Like, it is a story that you can kind of take and slap on any kind of story. And it doesn't even have to be a Predator movie. It could be a human movie, it could be other aliens, it could be a fantasy movie. It is a very commonplace storyline, but it works for this Predator movie.
Yep, and that's the thing. Like, we've seen so many stories because it's a formula that works if you've got good characters that are fleshed out, and I think they do a really good job of that. Ken actually did send us something about what he thought about it. I guess we can throw that up.
Okay.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Hey, I just got out of the screening for Predator Badlands, and let me give you my thoughts real quick while I can.
Oh, well, that's what he thought about the movie. Very interesting. Oh,
Wait, did you just cut me off?
No, we didn't.
Okay, so you don't want to hear what I have to say
Uh-uh.
about Predator Badlands.
Fine, say what you want to say, Ken.
Okay, listen. If you guys are being a little too positive, this movie's
Oh,
good.
boo.
It's fine.
Kent, you're
It's a
not
B
here.
minus,
fun.
maybe.
Fun.
It's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's fun. It really appealed to the inner child inside, but it's destined for like Walmart's $7 bin. It's awesome. I love you guys. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I want to say skip it because the action is fun, the soundtrack is cool, but it's also forgettable as a movie. Sorry, Rebecca. Sorry. See you guys.
All right, thank you, Ken, for sending that video. That's to see it for both of us, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Go to the theater. Is it in IMAX?
Yes, made for IMAX.
Go see it in IMAX.
Yes, definitely check it out. And more Elle Fanning movies, please. That would be...
More Elle Fanning and the Predator traversing the universe.
Yes, I would pay good money to have a Disney Plus show of that, even though we might already have it.
Yep.
But with that being said, let's move over to the next thing that's out in theaters. And Sydney Sweeney is back in theaters, and she's now, I think she's taking a run for the Oscar nominations in Christy.
Honor to meet you, Mr. King.
Well, tell me about yourself. Jesse here says that you fight it in all pink.
I'm from West Virginia.
What's that got to do with pink?
Nothing, sir. I'm just telling you about myself.
Yeah, pink was my idea.
This is a boxing film about a legendary female boxer that figuring out how to make it in this male-dominated boxing area. She's going through a lot of stuff with her husband, who's the guy that plays him?
That is Ben Foster.
Yes.
Who, transformation, like insane transformation.
Yes.
I did not recognize him until I had to look it up. And watching him during this whole film, I was like, that's Angel from X-Men The Last Stand?
It's a very conventional thing to do a boxing film as your launch to maybe get a nomination, right? But we've talked about this. Sydney Sweeney, she is always putting herself out there. She's always trying to give these great performances. I think this worked well because it seemed like a vehicle for her that she could go with. But I don't know if the story necessarily worked very well for her. What do you think?
Yeah, the thing about Sydney Sweeney, and I say it every time a Sydney Sweeney project comes out, I really respect her hustle. I like her dedication to the craft. Do I think she's really good at it? Maybe not. But I really like the effort that she's putting in here. And for once, I was watching her and I didn't think she's totally dead behind the eyes. But
Wow.
I know it's harsh. But she put in the work for this. She did months and months of physical training for this role, and it's a really demanding role too because she was the #1 female boxer for years. And this film does span decades. I don't find it consistent in the way it goes through the decades. But overall, I thought it was a really fascinating movie. Super duper heavy trigger warning for domestic violence.
Yes, that basically the whole second part of this movie is revolving around the domestic violence situation with her husband, and also seeing it's pretty shocking to see how she treated fellow female competitors, and the way that this is what we were talking a little bit with Swiped about the Tinder movie, how the dynamics shift when somebody that was able to break into this male-dominated culture has to feel like one of the guys, and also put down any other women that are trying to make their way up. They wanted to bolster her up as a feminist. She actively avoided that for most of her career. But do you think they did a good job of showing her perspective on just who she actually is rather than what she's wanting to become with this best boxer in the world?
I think so, because there's a lot of emphasis too on she is a closeted lesbian. She cannot come out of the closet because of the era. It's certainly frowned upon, and they, bolster her up as, oh, she's a very straight female boxer. But she also finds herself trapped in this marriage with her trainer turned husband. Yeah. And so there's a lot of layers to Christy, and I think they'd handle it pretty well.
Yep, but I do agree. If you're going to stretch it out for the entire lifespan of this person's career, it can get messy. And I think maybe that's where the story started falling a little bit for me.
Yeah.
I would say this is definitely one that you should check out during streaming, but there's nothing about it that gives you the big spectacle of what like a boxing fight would be on the big screen.
Yeah.
It's not trying to give you like a Creed moment or anything like that. It's much more a focused drama about a very specific person.
Yeah, agreed. I would wait to see it on streaming.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, there's two other people that I honestly didn't even realize this was coming out, but Die My Love.
Cheryl mentioned that you're a writer.
I don't do that anymore.
Stuck for inspiration?
I'm stuck between wanting to do something and not wanting to do anything at all. Where are you now?
Is everything all right?
I watched this last night, and one thing that me and you were talking about when we were getting into the screening for Predator Badlands is you said sometimes men should not review movies, right?
Yeah, I have an unpopular opinion that there are some movies that I don't think men should be allowed to review, and Die My Love is, I think, one of them because it stars Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson as new parents, and it follows Jennifer Lawrence as she really struggles with postpartum depression without really acknowledging that she has postpartum depression, and it's a very female-forward movie written and directed by Lynn Ramsey, who, if you saw We Need to Talk About Kevin, love that film. Like, Lynn Ramsey is very good at making you feel uncomfortable, and she does a great job of that with Die My Love. And Jennifer Lawrence, I think, has locked in her second Oscar for this performance.
Right. Well, and let me also say, after watching the movie, I agree with you. Like, seriously, like, there are things that just, I can talk about the technical stuff. I could talk about how strong the performances were. But as far as the story goes, not mine.
Yeah, and Robert Pattinson also, he gives a very subdued performance as a partner and husband who can't help but watch his wife fall apart, and there's nothing he can do to help.
Right.
Which I think is powerful in itself, but this is a very female-driven movie.
I wouldn't say he helped at all, to be honest. Getting a dog when you, okay.
Yeah.
We can get into that. But I do think Jennifer Lawrence, incredible performance, probably on par with her Silver Linings Playbook, if you count that as her best. Might even be better. I'll have to give it. What I was worried when I was watching is like, oh no, is this going to be like Mother, where we're just kind of overselling the emotion and trying to get biblical and we're doing all kinds of things? That's not at all what this movie's about.
Yeah.
And it is sitting in uncomfortableness, and that's kind of the movie. So it's one of those eat your vegetables because it's good for you and it will help and it's a conversation starter. But what do you think overall? Is this one that people are going to go out to see?
Overall, I would like to encourage people to go out to see it just because I want support for female filmmakers. I don't know that it's going to be like a crowd pleaser, so like maybe wait to see it on streaming, but definitely see it. I do think this is Jennifer Lawrence's second Oscar.
Yep. I might even go even further. I would prefer people go and see movies like this than if they were to go to like, what is the Blake Lively movie?
Oh,
It Ends With Us.
Yeah.
I would much rather people go and check out these kind of stories that feel real. It's pretty extreme in a lot of things, but it's also something that has powerful performances. So it's a see it for me, see it for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, with that being said, let's jump into the next film, which I'm going to look on my list real quick, which is Nuremberg.
Nuremberg.
Whoa,
oh, no. Whoopsies.
The governments of Russia, France, Great Britain, and our United States will put these men on trial for their lives.
It can't be done. There's no international law to base the charges on.
The world needs to know what these men did.
Dr. Kelly, Central Command thinks you're some kind of hotshot head shrinker. You will inspect and ensure the prisoner's mental health. The one you'll have to watch the closest is Goering.
He was appointed Hitler's successor in 1939 and is the highest-ranking German military officer of all time.
He's highly intelligent.
Charming and a narcissist.
I am going to escape the hangman's noose.
Very sure of yourself.
No man has ever beaten me.
This is Rami Malek talking about the Nuremberg trials. We have Russell Crowe as one of the big German officers that was being tried during this, and it really covers how first they decided as a world to address the atrocities that happened, and then also how do the psychological sides of this affect whether they're competent to even stand trial. What did you think?
This movie marketed poorly because I've been complaining about this movie for a week because the trailer made it look so boring. And I love a good war movie. And I also love a courtroom movie.
Right.
And the trailers for this just made this movie look so boring. But from the first 5 minutes, I was totally engaged in this movie. It's funny. Like, I was not expecting it to be kind of funny. But I was engaged for the whole, it is 2.5 hours. But I was engaged the entire runtime. You have a stacked cast: Rami Malek, Russell Crowe, Michael Shannon, John Slattery, Mad Men. And just a really fascinating insight into how they decided to persecute people, not just through a country, but through the lens of the world for atrocities committed against the world.
Yeah. And not only that, there's a little bit of Mindhunter at the beginning with Rami Malek and Russell Crowe's character, because at first you're like, wait, does he admire him actually? Is he admiring this horrible man with this narcissistic personality that seems to still think that he's leading when he's locked up? Like, that kind of drifts away when it starts delving more into the courtroom drama. Like, once it jumps into that, it's full on, let's bring in Michael Shannon, let's have Rami Malek kind of be the in-between between like what the court's saying and what the side is doing. I feel like this is something that, I don't know if in the theaters opening weekend is the best. It feels kind of like when your teacher's not at school for the day, and so the substitute comes in,
wheeling in a TV.
He's like, we're gonna watch Nuremberg, and puts it on, and that's that. But I don't know, it's still one, does that count as streaming now? Like, it'd be perfect for streaming?
Yeah, this is great for your dad who likes World War II movies. But also, it felt like I was watching an Avengers movie, because the way that they would introduce characters and introduce concepts, it felt very similar to plot beats of superhero movies where they're getting the gang together, which insane to say about the trials of Nuremberg. But I was into it. And like I said, watching on streaming with your dad, who also likes war movies.
Take your dad to the theater.
Take your dad to the theater. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like take your kids to the movies.
No.
Take your parents to some of these movies. Like Nuremberg might be the perfect fit for that.
Yeah, it's a crazy movie, marketed poorly, but I would say see it.
Yep. I wonder why it wasn't really like marketed too much this year.
Yeah, I wonder why.
They should probably push it a lot harder.
Yeah.
With that being said, let's talk about Frankenstein, which is now officially on Netflix. I feel like we've been talking about this thing for weeks now.
I never want to stop talking about Frankenstein.
Why should we stop?
Because this movie was so good.
It's Guillermo del Toro giving us his love letter to monsters, and he does that every movie, and still with this you're like, but he really did it this time.
He really did it. And he's got Oscar Isaac, who canonically weird guy, like he loves being the weird guy in movies, and he gets to fully embrace that in Frankenstein. And Jacob Elordi playing the creature, awesome performance. We cannot let what happened to Charles Melton 2 years ago in the awards categories happen with Jacob Elordi this year.
Oh, interesting. I agree with both. I think the set design is incredible in this. I think the makeup, the costumes, everything is, you could tell that whoever Guillermo del Toro works with are the best at what they do, much like with Chris Nolan. I think Oscar Isaac's character as the Doctor is crazy to see the flip of just such an abusive father that doesn't realize what he's created, and once he does, wants no part in it.
Well, he even drops this line, I can't remember it word for word, but he drops this line where he's like, I had no idea what to do after creation. Like, he was so laser focused on bringing life to nothing that he didn't plan for what if he did succeed. And all he can do is react in anger because it's not exactly going the way he envisioned.
Yeah, the story's told in two perspectives, basically. Perspective of the monster, perspective of the Doctor. How they intertwine that is pretty fun. It becomes a little bit like, we're just gonna fight each other for a while from a long distance and keep fighting each other. Jacob Elordi plays such a emotional, heartfelt Frankenstein. Well, monster. Can't do that.
Creature. Because I read the book after I watched the movie, because I saw the movie and I was like, yeah, this was good. I wish I know Guillermo del Toro is capable of more. I know he's capable of weirder, and I was kind of hoping that this movie would be a little bit more weird. But then I read the book. I actually listened to the audiobook narrated by Dan Stevens, which is incredible. It's on Audible.
He would have been a great Frankenstein.
Highly recommend. And after reading the book, I have such a deeper respect for the movie because it is a very good adaptation. It does take liberties in some circumstances, but it is such a good adaptation, and I feel sick that I ever called the creature a monster, honestly.
He should.
He's not a monster.
Yep.
He's a living creature who just wants love, and it is refused to him. And so, of course, if he can't indulge in love, he will indulge in rage. And it's just, Jacob Elordi gives the performance of a lifetime. And the whole time I was watching this movie, I kept thinking, wow, this could have been Andrew Garfield. Because Andrew Garfield was originally that part and then dropped out.
But man, nobody can stand as tall as Jacob Elordi.
He's so tall.
He lords over everybody. and really, I don't see anybody else being able to have played him the way he
no
did.
way.
But Mia Goth is also in it too. I don't think there was a lot with her character. I wish maybe there was a little bit more fleshed out there.
Yeah.
But this is a great one, and it's a fantastic one to see on streaming right now. It's on Netflix. You can check it out today, right?
Yes.
I believe it's out right now. Well, that being said, thank you so much for joining us for this special early Theater Skip It. Rebecca, you're the best.
Thanks.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me every week at Geek Show Podcast.
And you, gross Rebecca.
Yes.
We're not going to give Kent a plug because, he trashed Predator Badlands. Make sure that you scan the QR code down below. You can follow us on our YouTube, our social media. We're going to have tons more interviews coming out. And with that being said, let's jump right now into an interview that we got with Dominic Cooper, Haley Bennett, and the showrunner for the new Apple TV show, The Last Frontier. With that being said, thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you at the next review.
Hey, Patrick, nice to meet you.
Hey, John, how's it going?
Great. Love your poster.
Oh, thank you. Anytime I get a compliment on that I'm already know I'm with friends. So
okay, good.
I want to know first, what kind of sparked this idea? Because choosing to have a ton of prisoners escape from a plane in Alaska sounds crazy.
Yeah, what sparked the idea? Probably a abject fear of flying. I'm not a great flyer, but I think conceptually there's a hook there that I like that suggests an ongoing story. All these inmates spilled into the wilderness, one guy who's supposed to sort of hunt them down one by one. There's an engine to that feels to me like a TV show and feels like it has some legs. And then you step back and look at the characters and go, okay, what's it really about? Who are these people? What is this catastrophe going to do to them? And that inevitably always becomes more interesting than sort of the hook at the beginning.
I think you both have very unique and interesting characters, and the way that they work with each other is very fascinating. What was it like building that complicated chemistry? Was it through rehearsal? Was it through the script? Or did you guys talk a lot about it beforehand?
We had loads of information because we had 10 episodes ready to roll with. I mean, more often than not, you get them as you go. And we'd be in rehearsal rooms, we'd chat about them, we'd go, well, what do you think they did in that past that we were thinking about? We actually had the information. They have a very intricate, very complex relationship that we learn about later on, but we luckily got on very well and we would talk about it, and I thought Haley was incredible at pushing the boundaries of what she was prepared to do in each environment and scene.
And I think, it's a series that is heightened and elevated, and, there's this blockbuster element to it, but I think, Dom and I wanted to explore the intimacy of these two characters, and they're two characters that know how each other operate very well, and they are each other's intellectual equal, and that kind of cat and mouse game that they're playing is, a very dynamic aspect to the series.
Jason Clarke, wow, I think that he's one of those most underrated actors right now, and he's in so many hits. I love that you have him as a lead. What was the first discussions like with you and Jason talking about this character?
Jason, I think, really connected to the character. I think he understood this kind of rural guy and somebody that is probably in ways unlike where he comes from, right? I think he understood that. I think Jason, and I think he saw something that was maybe different than what we're used to seeing him in. This is Frank's a very warm, sort of salt of the earth guy. He's a little bit of a throwback. Maybe some of his values are outdated maybe, and I think that was interesting for him. I think he's fantastic, and I love him in everything he's in. But I thought he was specifically great in this, and also there's a physical aspect to the show that is undeniable. The guy's up for anything, So when we're doing takes where he's on a dog sled or he's on a snowmobile and it's not, let's do it again. He's never one to step back, and I think there was a physical aspect of it that I think must have been interesting to him.
Were you out in Alaska with the crew for everything? What were some of the conditions like while you were working on set?
Yeah, well, we actually shot in Canada. So we shot outside Montreal, Quebec City, Calgary, and we were in beautiful, beautiful areas of the country. But it was both. It was both bitter cold. I was told the insurance company shuts us down at 30 degrees below, and we got down to 20, a little below 20. That's brittle cold. And at the same time, because we shot over the course of 6-7 months, by the end we're shooting in August, and the wardrobe people are pulling the stuffings out of jackets, and the AC's cranked on the sets. We're trying to be as cold looking as possible while it's sweltering, heat, and all the trees are starting to leave out, But it was a very physical shoot.
It's always so interesting, especially when it's like maybe we were in the right season at the beginning, but it's been so long that now we have to change everything temperature-wise. That's so crazy.
It was a difficult challenge, the continuity of that. And this show, as you know, it takes place almost one episode per day. So it's almost over the course of 8-10 days, and so the continuity was very important because of that.
What was something during production while you two were working with each other on a scene or something that maybe felt like a challenge, but because you knew you were with this scene partner in particular, you thought you were in good hands?
I always felt like I was in good hands, and Dominic is such a kind of, he's incredibly well prepared. He's always, on time. He's very professional. I always felt like I could rely on Dominic, and then at the same time, he's an artist, so he is spontaneous and making decisions in the moment, and that is something that I appreciate the most in an actor, is an actor with imagination and that can, he's obviously a very good listener and somebody that is reactive.
What I loved when I watched and worked on those scenes together, they're kind of your favourite. When you're in an action film, you want to do you want more dialogue. When you do more dialogue, you want more action. And this, when it came to having done all the action bits, you were like relieved to be talking with
actually doing scenes.
And looking in the eyes and listening. And we had these lovely sort of romantic moments back. I can't say that, can I?
No, it's okay.
We go. These. It felt like we were in two different films.
Yeah, there's
and I watched you do
two different narratives.
And you're under massive time pressure when you're making 10 eps, and it's not like a film where you have rehearsal and you work it out and you move around the space and you work out. And you made sure that you allowed us to get that. And I wouldn't have, and I often go, sure, what do you want, what do you need? But it's so important that you feel it out and you feel natural and you feel that it's right for who you're creating. And people try and put pressure on you not to do it.
You just want to protect that,
you
I think,
have to.
Between, on set with performers, and it's something
you do that so well. I thought
I want to kind of protect the integrity of the characters that we're building, and also create a dialogue in which we can work together and make new discoveries and things that might not necessarily be on the page.